Thursday. Now, this is the fourth time I have done this, so I'm just kind of, this is my desk, and we'll see if oh, we're back. Does not allow me to hold on the signal, so we're just kind of holding on. So, all right, let's just see. My connection has been restored. Okay, so again, my name is Joy Borowedge. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and we'll see if this connection. So there's my stamping, there's my cutting area, and the TV. Might as well just show. Okay, I'm wondering if I should cancel this again or continue to stream. So, what do you think? There's nobody here. Okay, so this is my stamping area, and that is the card we're going to make. There are my dimensionals and my post-it notes, and let's see what else. My adhesives down in there, and then I have the inks and the pad storage. There's my little garbage can. And there is some extra, like the Versamark, and so we are having technical difficulties. If you are sticking around, I'm sorry. I've never had this happen before. So seeing as how there's my twins stuff, some of the stuff has fallen off the wall. There's Joe Mauer, and they did really bad this year. So there are, that's my stamping area, all my stamps, and my my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This is how I store my dies. That is a container that holds the mail. And so that's also how I store my dimensionals. And there is my die holders. I'm just checking to see if my connection stays long enough. And there's my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And just try not to move too fast. My punches, my embellishments, and my brushes. And then I have the shelving that is under my Alpha, I think it's called. So far it's stuck. So it's stuck around. And there is my Stamp Camp Ideas. That is going to happen. I have to make the invitation. So I have extra paper, extra cardstock, and then white paper, my paper trimmer, and all those black containers. Those are all my Facebook Lives. All right, so we're going to put this into the holder. There's my holder. Okay, so I'm going to put this in, and hopefully it stays. Okay, so there is how I normally speak, and see you in my chair, and I turn it down. So far it's stuck with me. Okay, so we're going to move this over. All right. Whew. There was the tour of my room, so then that way, I just didn't want to start like 5 different times, and now that I'm going to tighten this up. So it's 8:20, sorry about the mess up on that. Grr, makes me want to growl. Okay. I'm done messing around with the camera. Hi, Mike. All right, so we have several things to talk about before this happens. So I'm going to say, again, my name is Joy Borowedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. The email address is penguinz33@outlook.com. And that way, if you do not have a demonstrator, you can request the annual catalog. Hi, Sherry. Welcome. I've been having technical difficulties. This is like my 5th time trying. So you can watch the replay and get a tour of my stamping area if you want. Okay, so hi, Carolyn. Welcome. Okay, so if you do not have a demonstrator, you can request these 2 catalogs. And my host code is RAUJD4EY. All right. So like I said, if you are just joining now, I've been having technical difficulties. This is like my 5th time trying. So if you watch the beginning of this, I kind of was doing a little tour of my stamping area just to kind of see if the connection stayed, because it went out on me 4 different times. So that's why we're kind of starting late. So thank you guys for showing up. www.thestampinevent.com is the event that you want to pay attention to. October 26th is the date. And let's see here. I have this one is a fun fold, and this is one of the examples that I have. This is one of my cards. So I have 3 cards this time around, and like I said, it's a fun fold, so it's really cute. Okay. So that is the event. You will go home with 16 different handmade cards made by you. Everything's cut up and are ready to go. All right, so I received something in the mail. Oh yeah, so register ASAP. And the reason why is so that it helps us get our numbers correct. Because if 50 people register and all of a sudden we have 65 5 days before, that's a lot of extra cutting. So we kind of want to get the numbers so we know how many people that are planning on attending. So registering early would be awesome. Okay, so check out what I got from Stampin' Up! In the mail. Congratulations on your Stampin' Up! Anniversary. Wear this pin proudly. So I have my 25-year pin. So I've been around for 25 years, and I've had people I've seen demonstrators with time having 1 million sales already and $3 million in sales already. I'm just a little tiny fish in the pond. All right, some new stuff that's just heading out. It's October. Right now, the kits are on sale, up to 30% off between now and the 31st. These kits are kind of like the paper pumpkin, but you get to see what's on the inside before you buy it. They are online, and all you have to do in the search button is punch in kits collection, and they will show up whatever is available. And some things have already sold out and are currently unavailable, but will be restocked. So check that out. The starter kit right now is on, is on sale. You can become a demonstrator, and you will pick out $155 worth of product, and you only pay 99 bucks. You get free shipping. So it also comes with free business supplies. So if you don't want to be a demonstrator like me and do Facebook Lives, you don't have to. All you have to do is just make sure that you have some sales and get that within the $300 every quarter. And all you have to do is get some girlfriends together, have them place orders along with your orders, plus you earn a discount. So, but you don't have to have those sales up front right away. So if you have any questions, you can always email me. Okay, another thing that just dropped, and if you're a demonstrator, you can order this now. It's called Otterly Adorable. It's an otter suite, and I saw the cards, and it is fun. So mine's coming. I haven't even gotten it yet, but I did not order it overnight, but that's coming to customers November 5th. Now, if you want to put that kit in your, if you want to put that suite in your starter kit, you could certainly do that. Now, another thing that's popping up in the online exclusives is this one, and this one is called Marbled Elegance Suite Collection. Now, that is because of this paper. Now, this paper is absolutely stunning with gold foil in there and flex. Now, my paper printing does not do it justice whatsoever. Now, the suite, the easy button, you can certainly pre-order this if you are a demonstrator. As a customer, that will be available to you November 5th. And also the Happy Hibiscus bundle. Now, this happens to be another one of those hybrid embossing folders. So the bundle is the stamp set, the dies, and the embossing folder. And it's really pretty. All right, so you as a customer can check that out November 5th. Now, the Changing Leaves bundle is back in stock. And don't forget about the Potions and Spells bundle, which is also available in the online store. Then, don't forget, you can check out the scrapbooking brochure. I took a few minutes and I taped everything together. Now, I do have the willow paper and the white willow. White willow? I think it's white willow. And then I ordered the Snow Day scrapbooking kit because I want to see what that looks like. And I ordered the coordinating stamp set that goes with that because that was going to be a lot of fun with the Snow Day. Now, and then we're going to play with the two-toned cardstock. So check that out. You're available to purchase from that in the online store. And if you punch in scrapbooking in that search button, that will help you find it. All right, here is the card that we're going to be making tonight. And it is a shaker card. Okay, so I will be putting this together, and somebody is actually going to get a chance to win it. And all you have to do is do a thumbs up or a heart that gets your name entered into the drawing, leave a comment, and share this on your timeline. That also helps you, and it helps me, and so it gets you entered twice. So you have 4 different ways to get entered for this drawing. Okay, let's get on with it. Let me show you what we are going to be playing with. First of all, we are going to be using the Autumn Leaves. Now, and it's coordinating dies. It's not a bundle. It's on page 74. When it was introduced the first time, it was a bundle. Now, this used to be in last year's holiday mini catalog, and it's my favorite autumn set. I absolutely love the leaves and the extra pieces, and I do have, let's see, here's what it looks like. So you have all these stamped images that get cut out by the dies, and then these pieces are extra, and then you have all the fonts. So every greeting in the stamp set has the available die to cut it out. These are extra, And then the pieces, like this, put dots in your decorative dots that coordinate with the dots that go around the border. Okay, so that's the autumn leaves. And like I said, it's on page 74 in the annual catalog. Then we're going to be using the deckled rectangles. This is in the online exclusives. And we are going to be using the Splendid Autumn Designer Series paper. This is in the Holiday Mini Catalog, and I have done several different things with this Designer Series paper. It's a 6x6. You get 48 sheets, and this is the one that we're going to be playing with tonight. And you could certainly use whatever Designer Series paper to make the actual card that we're making tonight. And there you go. Just quickly going through it. Okay, so again, that's on page 37 in the Holiday Mini Catalog. Okay, so here we have the 6x6 Designer Series paper. And this is basic beige. This is going to be the inside panel, so it's 5 3 3/4. Piece of wild wheat, and this is 5.5 by 4.5. We have a piece, it's 1/2. It's actually from we're going to actually have another piece of this, but I have already cut it just so that I could keep the actual sample. A window sheet, and I forgot to put a measurement on it. So it is 4.5 by 3. So the window sheet, 4.5 by 3. And this is our card. It is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and we're going to score it at 5.5. And then we have scrap paper, pretty peacock, and more of the basic beige. Okay, so I'm just going to let that sit for just a second here. And that way, if you wish to come back and recreate this card, you can pause it and get your everything chopped up, and then you can start it again and follow along with me. And then also, I forgot to show you, we have the loose frosted dots, and these are in the annual catalog. Okay, and then we're going to be also using the woven leaves. That is from the Holiday Mini, and we're going to be using that beautiful wild wheat ribbon, again from the Holiday Mini catalog. And okay, so that's good. All right, so we're going to get out, first of all, we're going to score this, and that I'm going to move this kind of up here so I know where everything is at. And I'm going to get my Simply Score tool out. And like I said, I like to use my Simply Score tool because then I don't accidentally cut it when I'm using the trimmer. All right, so that is actually 5.5. And we'll get the bone folder out in just a moment. And then we're going to get our bone folder out because we're actually going to have it like this. And whoever wins this card, it's going to sit sideways. And so it's going to be like this, so it can sit on somebody's mantle. Okay. And then we're going to get the paper trimmer. Now, the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer has an arm that comes out, and we don't need it. And then it has two blades. One is the dark, that is the cut, and the light is the score. So this needs to be, we're going to chop it down to 1/4 inch, smaller than what an actual card would be. So it needs to be 5 1/4. Okay, so long, 5 1/4 long, and then it needs to be 4 inches tall. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put it, and there, my score tool fell off. So we're going to go to 4 inches. And so this way, oops, we're going to just cut straight up. And so now we have, it's going to be the perfect width, okay? And so now, where I got that 1/2 inch, I can use this full piece on another card rather than cutting up more 1/2 inch pieces. Okay, so then now we are going to chop off some of this because we need it to be 5 1/4. So we're going to go upside down, and then we're just going to trim that off. So we can use that piece on another card. So this way you have the most paper to play with for something else, okay? And then what I do, whoa. And then what I do is I like to put my colors on the back because it covers, and I put my scrap on the back, on the inside here. Anything on the back side is a piece of scrap. And then I know where to go, and I don't have to cut into a full piece. And now that my scraps are back here, I have all my colors covered up. So that's the reason why I write them in Sharpie. Okay. So we can put that like that, and we'll put the trimmer back, and with my scoring blade. Okay, so then now let's stamp some stuff, and then we'll get out the die. Actually, first of all, never mind. I've changed my mind. We're going to, let's see. So this piece right here is going to get cut out. We're going to make a frame. But what I want to do is put this through the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine and get the window sheet attached so I can glue it. So by the time we start doing other things, it'll be done drying. So that's actually what we're going to do. So we'll get the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine out twice, just so that we can get this color. I could have cut this a little bit more, but I just grabbed a 1/4 sheet. So I'll be right back. So what I did is I took 2 of the deckled rectangles, and I took a piece of washi tape and I taped it together once I figured out the frame and the amount of space between each piece. And we're going to put this in through here. So we have platform number 1. Then we have the adapter, and then number 3. Now, because this is a flat edge, you want to put it at a diagonal when it goes into your blades, because that way it puts less pressure on them, and you have a happy die cutter. All right, sorry for the shaking of the table. And you could certainly make your frame larger by putting the smaller piece, but I actually wanted the most cards, the designer series paper. I want to be able to see that the most. So this piece that you cut out, you could certainly use that again, or use that later. And then I am actually going to cut this like that. I save my scraps. Okay, so I can use these possibly in something later. These, no, not going to use that. So then once you're done, you just take the washi tape off, and you could put these back in your folder once you're done. Okay, so we're going to use this in just a little bit. All right. Okay, so I'm going to get out my silicone mat, and we're going to use liquid glue. Now, if this was a little thicker, I would possibly use the Stamp and Seal, but I don't want to take a chance of it coming off just because it's so small. All right, I just had to take a drink. Okay, now I'm going to sit down for a few seconds and do this because I really do not want, you just want a tiny little bit on here, and you don't want it to overflow, because if it gets on your window sheet, it will make a big mess. All right. And because this is a shaker card, you don't want to have gaps. All right. Okay, just like that. And we're going to take the window sheet and put that on just a little bit, and then give that a nice burnish. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. So then it works better later on. Okay, so now we're going to grab the Stampin' Pearson mat, and we are going to stamp our inside, and might as well do this one first just because it's a bigger leaf. And okay, so we're going to use two different color ink pads. We have Wild Wheat and Pretty Peacock, and we're going to do tone on tone. Now, this stamp set is distinctive, and what that means is, I'm going to put this under here so maybe you could see it. Let's see. You could probably see the variations of the images on there. And so what that means is Stampin' Up, let me put let's see. I'm going to grab a spoon and I'm going to squish down the color, because if it's too juicy, the idea of the having the actual, you could see that there's two different shadings in there, and Stampin' Up did that on purpose by putting those dots inside so that it looks like you have shading, and you don't have to color anything. And so it's kind of cool. And Stampin' Up! Is the only one that has that, so it's a Stampin' Up! Feature. And so then you could see the difference. So if you push the ink away, you can actually get a better variance of shading there compared to full-on strength. And especially if they're really new, then you're going to want to do that. And so I'm going to clean off my spoon, and I'm going to do the same thing with the Pretty Peacock. And so I just kept the sponge, or it's actually a baby wipe I meant. I just kept the baby wipe in there just for this technique. And so I'm going to do the same thing with the Pretty Peacock by just pushing it down. And we're going to stamp it. Just tap, tap, tap. You don't want to squish. And we're going to put that right here. Allow that ink to transfer. And see how that has the two tones. So Stampin' Up! Already did the coloring for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, and then now we're going to do the greeting. Let's see. I changed things so many times on this card. I just want to make sure I'm stamping the right thing. Okay. And we're going to stamp. I do not normally leave my ink pads open just because I can actually do it the wrong way. So that is the color of Wild Wheat on Basic Beige. Okay. And then we're going to clean that off because we're done with this leaf. I really, really love this stamp set. I'm so glad that Stampin' Up! Came out with and brought it back, because it made me really sad that it possibly could go away. All right, so then now the greeting for the inside of the card is going to say, oh, there's a fuzzy on here, so I'm going to wipe this down. It's going to say, I'm thankful. And then we're going to do that in Pretty Peacock. So just lightly tap it. And we're going to put that right here. And then I'm going to move that away over here. I don't trust myself. And then this is going to say, to have you as a friend. Now, I just want to push that on there just in case. Okay. I see a little coloring on there. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So then now, I want to do, yeah. Okay, I'm good. And then we have one more thing. We have the veins in Pretty Peacock. We're going to put that right on here. Isn't that pretty? I just love the set. Oh, just makes me so giddy. I know, I'm a dork. All right, then we are going to put this, and it says, Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. And we're going to put, actually, I'm going to do that on a different one, just because I want to make sure I have enough space for the dies on both pieces. I mean, these were scrap pieces anyways. All right. So, okay, so let's just go and clean everything. Squeak, squeak. This is just water, and this is my Simply Chamois. I cut mine in 4, so then that way when I'm doing stamping events. I have one at each table. This one is really down in there. But I just go back in, clean. There we go. Sorry for the shaking of the table if that's shaking. Okay. All right, so we're now all clean. Okay, so then we're going to add the Designer Series paper. I mean, just love this card. I mean, you know how when you do something and it just turns out better than you imagined? That's this card. Okay, so we're going to put the Designer Series paper on there and give that a nice snip. Okay. And we're going to add this to the inside of the card. I really like how the leaves underneath here just add to the card. Okay, so then now we're going to go back in and might as well actually add the Designer Series paper. Now you can do this as simple or as elaborate as you want. And I'm actually going to show you the inspiration for this card, and you have actually already seen it. Okay. There's a little piece of cardstock down there. Okay. So then now, let's get out the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine for a second time. And putting together a shaker card is actually really easy. People think that they're too time-consuming. No, not really. Okay, so this one, we're actually I'm gonna save that, put that in my scrap bin, and oh, my nose tickles. Anybody else having allergy issues? Okay, so this one is going to go right here. This cuts both leaves at the same time, and it makes it, it leaves it one, it leaves it one piece. All right, so this is going to be the veins. So we're just going to use this. That can go in my scrap bin. And this piece again, scrap bin. And now I know that the Designer Series paper does not say that Pretty Peacock is in the Designer Series paper. It's not, the colors are, I'm just trying to make sure this is straight. Okay, so it's not a choice. However, the Pretty Peacock, if you were to dump these out and flip that over, that looks like Pretty Peacock to me. And so I'm sure it could go with another blue, but that's how I chose the colors. Okay, so then now we got everything ready to cut, I think. Okay, so that other plate is going to go on top. Okay. And I save my Post-it notes. I just reuse them until they're done being sticky. I mean, I just love the edging on that. And then I always put my done pieces back on the magnet so I don't lose my dies. Yeah, I was looking for a die one day, and it was smaller than my fingernail, and it ended up being stuck to a Post-it note. And I literally moved everything from underneath my shelving units, and I took a magnet off the Stamparatus, and I was just kind of swishing it all over the floor. And I was just at a loss as to where, I mean, my bedroom is not big. It's big enough that I can have stamp stuff in here. Okay. So see how that one piece just cuts right out? Come on. And I have leaves. Okay, so I think we are done with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, so let's move those out of the way. Okay, so now this is the back side, so we're going to take these are called foam adhesive strips. They are in the annual catalog in the sticky area. Okay. And you just take one. Now these are just a tad, and I'm also going to sit for this part. These are a tad bit thicker than dimensionals. So if you are using these with dimensionals in other areas of the card, you want to just keep that in mind. All right, so then I am going to take these are my craft and rubber scissors from a long time ago. Stampin' Up! Used to sell them. And I'm going to butt that up. And this is the smallest frame. These are 1/4 inch wide. So that way, that's the reason why I used the two together, the frames, so that I knew that they would fit perfectly in here. All right. It's taking me a really long time to go through this one sheet. It comes 2 sheets. Let's see here. You get 40 strips and in a package. So I have made many shaker cards, and depends on, you know, how many you do. Okay, so I'm just gonna snip that right there, pull that off, and butt that right up, and make sure that there's no hole. All right, just like that. And this happens to be sticky, so I'm going to put that right next to it. And we could stick that back in here. Come on, get in there. And you can cut them to whatever size you need. I mean, perfect. Okay, so this is what we need it to be. Okay, so then this is going to be our card, and that's going to be our frame, just like that. So what I am going to do is I am going to take, woo! There are different sizes in here, and there's a small, a medium, and a large. So here's a large, here's a medium. Let's see if we can find a pink small one right there. There you go. So there's a small, medium, and large, and so I'm going to put those. Oops, I dropped one on the floor. Well, it's going to get vacuumed. It's not today. And I don't know, that's a lot. Okay, I think that's a good enough amount. So I'm just going to center that in, again, the center. Okay, let me show you, let's see. This is another shaker card that I made, and that is Facebook Live number 348. So if you'd like to see how that was made. Okay, so then now we're going to use the take your pick tool, the people poker, and we're going to lift off the backing. And I don't have fingernails, so that's the reason why I have to use this. Come on. Okay. Oh, that part of it came off. That's it. So, okay, so then now we're going to take this. I'm just going to lightly place that on there. So I want to make sure that I have it equidistant on all sides. Whoops, not crooked. I mean, if you want to make it crooked, you could. Just a tad bit up. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And then squish. Make sure that all your shaker bits stay encased. I mean, look at that. I mean, just, that looks pretty. Okay, so then let's get this part together. Okay, so I'm going to get out my silicone mat again, my craft mat. And I'm going to put, oh, first of all, I am going to put Wink of Stella on here. All right, and I forgot one other thing. I'm going to put that right up there, give that a chance to dry. And let's see here. We're going to need about that much. I mean, if you have a scrap piece, that's all you really need. It's just a little flippy thing. Okay. So if you know, you make a pretty bow and you're done and you throw something like, don't throw that away, use it. And we're going to need 2 of these. These are the Woven Golden Leaves. They're on page 37 in the Holiday Mini Catalog. And we're going to need 2 of them. 1, 2. And they're all the same size, and there is no adhesive on these, okay? Somebody was saying that they're supposed to have adhesive on there. No, they do not. All right, I'm just going to take a drink. All right. Okay, whoa. Then we're going to take, now this is the Dark Pretty Peacock Blend. We're going to grab a Stampin' Pearson mat just because it has that scrap piece of paper on there. Now you want to do this on the side, okay? You want to just lay it down and color your leaf. Okay, and you can flip it over if you want. Come on, behave. Okay, there's one. And here's the other one. I didn't color that last piece right down there at the bottom because you really don't need it. Okay. That is it for that. Okay, so then now we are going to build this piece right here. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put a little adhesive right there just to kind of make it stay. And then I'm going to grab a piece of tear end tape. This again is in the annual catalog under Sticky Business. And we are just making a little loop. And then we're going to put that down in there, and that's going to hold the loop, okay, just like that. And then we are going to put another piece down right here, and then we're going to take the backings off on both of those. Just throw that away, just like we did with the foam, the adhesive foam strips, okay? Then we're going to take just a little bit of liquid Tombow glue and just put it kind of in the chunkier parts where the pieces meet. Okay. And I like to do this on my craft mat because then it doesn't get my surface all sticky. And that just goes on like that. I'm going to flip that over and give that a nice burnish. And then I'm going to snip that little stem off because we don't need it. And then, okay, so I did one up here like that, and then I put this like that, and then another piece kind of like that. I mean, how pretty is it? Just a little elegant. Okay, so then now we're going to take sticky strip on the back side and take the backing off. Oh, come on. All right, now we're going to take one dimensional and take that off. Another dimensional right on top. Do the same thing with this one. Stab and grab that backing. And, well, guess I didn't have to do that, but we took the sticky part off, and we'll just make that stick. Take the backing off of that one. It'll stick. It's sticking to me. Okay, so put the lid back on our people poker. Now I want to be able to see a little bit of the frame on both sides. Oops. Ah. Come on, go down. There. Oh, stuck to me. Okay. Now stick down. Okay. How does that look? Okay, so then now we're going to take just a little bit. I find it easier for me. Okay, so I'm going to have my putty end available. And we're going to grab the Tombow glue again. We're going to go right there in the corner. And then we're going to go down here on the side. And then a tiny one up there. We're going to use all three sizes. So we're going to grab one that's facing up. Okay, so that goes right there. I grabbed the putty off. Okay, so there's the baby. All right, come on, stay. All right, and do I have a medium one? I think that's a medium one. There we go. Oops. Squish back down in there. Okay. All right, so we'll put that on. And so the Wink of Stella needs to go on the inside of this with the pretty peacock. Okay, so I'm going to wipe that off. See, there's a little tiny blue right there. So that way when I use my Wink of Stella the next time, it's all clean. Okay, so what do you think about this card? Give me a thumbs up. Carolyn, hi. Welcome. So what do you think? Isn't that cool? Okay, so that is the outside, and here is the inside. So we used the Splendid Autumn. We used the Designer Series paper and the leaves and the ribbon from the Splendid Autumn Suite. And this is in the Holiday Mini Catalog. And then we used, let's see here, let's go to the index. I have my index labeled. back here. And that is Autumn Leaves on page 74 in the annual catalog. And that is right down here. Thank you, Carolyn. So, if you missed this and you want to go watch the replay, this is actually probably like my 5th time doing it, just because I was having technical difficulties with my connection. And so for a little while, I kind of gave a little tour of my stamping area just to see if the connection was going to stay. And it did. So we ended up coming back and making this card. So that's why it kind of seems a little late. So if you would like to win this card, all you have to do is a thumbs up or a heart. You can do both if you want, and that gets your name entered into the drawing. If you leave a comment, all you have to do is say hi. If you've never seen my videos before, you could say, my first time, I'm from Bloomington, Minnesota, or I'm from California. Then that gets you entered into the drawing. If you share this on your timeline, there might be a paper crafter that's on your timeline that you don't know that they paper craft and they haven't touched their stuff for a while. Maybe seeing this video might inspire them to take a card, make a card, and mail a card. Make somebody's day. Thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Thursday evening. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, and happy stamping!